persons. Lehman's here. Mendoza and Lake is here. So all is present. Minutes of the previous meeting.
I'll move to approve.
I abstain.
Second.
Okay, the minutes are approved then. Any open issues?
Just that we still have the traffic control map tabled on the council agenda. I know that we'll have to make amendments to it prior to having it voted on because we separated the stop sign information onto new legislation that will have the reading today. So eventually we'll remove that from the tabled portion. And other than that, were we expecting additional information this evening?
I thought Eric was going to fill us in a little more, but perhaps he hasn't had a chance to go over that with the street department. When it made its way to us, I think that there had been some miscommunication and he hadn't reviewed it. So now he's going over that. That's why they moved the stop signs forward. And then the rest of it he was going to review and then report back to us. So I guess it stays put until we get that information with what they want to do with those other recommendations.
So, any new business?
I have none.
What, old business? Already stands down.
Yeah, just the table legislation that we're still working on. I think Sue may have had a question or an item for the new business. The chicken legislation.
Oh, yes, two things. So on the chicken legislation, even though that's a do-over because there's a document missing. However, I felt that we probably should bring it to the floor at this committee because it does have reference in the ordinance that the Law and Ordinance Committee met in an open meeting regarding this. So since we're going to be actually voting on it as a council, I felt that we probably should make sure that we had all reviewed that and see if there was anything we wanted to discuss on it. I'm comfortable with it. But at least have it on the record that it did make the floor at our meeting.
I'm comfortable with it as well. I remember when it was first introduced, and I believe it had the full 3 readings then, and there weren't any issues raised by the public, or it may have had, I think it went through unanimously as well. Do you remember working on that, or
I don't.
the premise behind it? But
On other new business, the legislation that's on tonight for the building or accessory building regulations, I was hoping somebody was here and could help me with F. I don't know, did either of you read that portion?
I did read through it, but
Did it make sense to you?
had anything that stuck out to me.
I didn't understand that "and" may be located no closer than 5 feet to any side or rear yard or 10 feet from a property line. Well, 5 feet from a yard would most likely be 5 feet from the property lines. I was a little confused by that. I just want to make sure they actually want it to read that way. And perhaps I can just ask for clarification at the regular meeting after it gets read.
We'll plan to do that then.
Okay, that's the only other item that I had.
Anyone from the public have anything to discuss with the Law and Ordinance? State your name and.
Deb Tyson, 800 Woodward Avenue. Okay, I don't know where it's at, but you guys have talked about one-way parking, and we know the U-Haul left Woodward. I have a picture. We have a yellow truck that's a U-Haul, but it's painted all yellow. including the cab, and it's sitting in about the same place. Not no coal hauler on the back of it, but I can show you guys the pictures if I may.
It went away.
Oh.
It disappeared. Okay, so it's in a driveway with no plates. Oh, it's on the street.
Yes, it's on the street. That's the issue.
So they don't have any tags.
I believe I saw this vehicle or the one prior when I drove that street. It was sitting there at the time.
But this now is painted yellow.
Okay, but there was a big truck sitting there the day that I did drive thank you.
So, and I know that the scrapyard, recycle place, however we want to call it, Spruce Street, looks like they might have erected partial fence so people can walk down Jackson or walk home from school, but like the whole front, anybody that's walking on Spruce, so say little kids were walking through, it's like no fence there. And I don't see how after hours that can be safe. So I don't know what can be done. So thank you.
Anyone else from the public? They miscellaneous.
I have none.
Okay, now, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
They adjourned at 5:22. Let's see, you second that, right?
Yes.